Hey folks, we are back again, and first off, a huge thank you for all the positive comments about episode number 1 of Combat Conversations at the MKG Westwood event. People seem to enjoy the episode, people seem to get a good vibe from it, so that's a big thumbs up, and I'm looking forward to doing episode number 2 with Guru Bob Breen in a couple of weeks when I go down to London to train some one-to-one with him in JKD and Carly. He'll beat me up, we'll drink some green tea, we'll train some more, we'll learn all about 4D combat, and we'll have a grand old time, I'm sure. In the meantime though, I thought I would share with you a little bit my journey the past kind of 8 weeks, delving back into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I was first introduced to many years ago when I was at university, training with the Hull University MMA club. Somehow I became the vice president and the treasurer of that said club, which basically meant that I collected the subs every week and then also got choked out a lot. But then life happened, and by life I mean pubs and pints and other distractions, and the training kind of went downhill, and I didn't carry on with the BJJ too much. I just kind of dabbled a little bit. I attended the odd seminar, including with the amazing and the absolute legend that is Royce Gracie, the man who basically put BJJ on the map in the early 90s, beating everyone and submitting them and showing the efficacy of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So if we fast forward to now, I've decided to stop dabbling and dive in properly, and where better to do that than at Total BJJ in Nottingham, a team producing world, European and British champions, headed up by 8 times British champion Sean Coates, who I recently interviewed on the podcast. I kind of did what I always do. I went in head first. I signed up to the 8-week beginner program, training 2 or 3 times a week in regular classes, plus supplementing that with one-to-ones with black belt Andy Parr from Lincoln Grappling Coalition, and also brown belt Amric from Nottingham, both of whom were absolutely delighted to demonstrate how very little I knew about Jiu-Jitsu at the moment that I stepped on the mats. So the course covers all of the basics in terms of movement, fundamentals and positional sparring, and basically everything you kind of need to learn to survive a session with just a little shred of dignity remaining after a few good rolls. The best part for me though is that family friendly, welcoming feel. As soon as you walk in, you're greeted with a smile. Everyone's super friendly, but everyone's also a smiling assassin there, and the standard of BJJ is really, really high. That family friendly feel is exactly what I kind of like at my place in Power Martial Arts Academy in Lincoln, so it's really nice to see that at Total BJJ in Nottingham as well. So at the end of the 8 weeks you take a test, and it is a real test. I think according to Sean, about 40% of people pass it first time, which means obviously having my maths head on, 60% of people don't. This isn't a test where you get a little certificate for participation, it is a pass or a fail, and it was pretty intense. You get assessed on your fitness levels, your technique, your positional work, and some sparring in the gi and the no gi as well. And if you do pass, you move on to the advanced classes. If you fail, then welcome to the retake city. And as I said, the population there, statistically, 60% of people. So let's see how I got on. So Coach Sean has kindly requested that I don't broadcast the entire BJJ test to the world, as apparently some things are best left behind the mysterious veil of Total BJJ, which I fully respect, and also kind of love, because now I get to act like the test was part martial arts and part MI6 assessment. What I can show you though are a few carefully selected snippets involving fitness, technique, or a spirited attempt at it in my case, and some sparring, both gi and no gi. So first up was the fitness. They made me run up and down the mat a bit, you know, to raise the heart rate and thoroughly test the limits of my cardio, as well as the tracking capabilities of my brand new gimbal, which I'm proud to say worked a whole lot better than I did. So after that warm-up jog / gimbal test, we move straight into the measurement section, which is basically where they confirm the height, weight and sense of existential worth. The good news is, it turns out I've got a decent grip strength. The bad news is I'm officially shorter than I've been claiming on dating apps. Next up was the technical section of the test, where coach would call out a technique, I'd stand there buffering like a dodgy Wi-Fi signal, then perform some version of the move, Probably not quite how Hicks and Gracie would do it, more like how Dan would do it, which is to say, earnest but confusing. Then we came on to the sparring then. So we started in the gi, which to me always feels like being mugged in a dressing gown. Then we moved on to the no gi, where I discovered that I'm currently about as jiu-jitsu fit as a pot noodle. At one point, I'm fairly sure my soul left my body tapped out and needed home without me. Cue a short montage of highlights, and I do mean short. We're talking blink and you'll miss them levels of brevity here. But hey, I showed up, I survived, and I definitely learned.
Hit the gym, lights are bright, music pumping, feeling right. Every rep, every set, chasing goals I won't forget. Sweatshirts down, hearts on fire, pushing past my own desire. In the zone, I come alive, riding on that workout vibe. Workout vibe, feel the beat, energy from head to feet. Lift me up.
So that's it then, folks. First BJJ test complete. Sean and Joe disappeared downstairs for a bit to discuss my many flaws in both jiu-jitsu and general life decisions, it seems. And then they called me down to deliver the verdict, which was that I had passed. So first stripe secured on my freshly sweat-soaked white belt. Lots to improve on, lots to learn, but it's one step closer to that end of 2025 goal of competing, and ideally competing well and not just showing up and flailing around like a seal in a rash guard. But to end the video, as you've seen the best bits, and since this is me, let's end on a few of the not so glamorous moments from the test. Cue the low light reel.
Look at that cat. Look at that cat. It's like Jabba the Hutt.
What the fuck is this?